Hello. Let's talk about teaching skills. It is the heart and soul of your TLG classes. Essentially, you are and will become even more so an amazing teacher. And being an amazing teacher is a skill, it is a craft, and it is a science as well. I am so excited about teaching skills because I'm a former classroom teacher and I also give keynotes around the country on interactive teaching techniques. I have a master's in teaching and I taught regular and special education and music education. So I'm so excited to work with you on this. Right now, this is an overview. It will basically lay out an overarching way of looking at teaching and give an outline of all the different parts that will be in the subsequent teaching training section. Again, teaching is the heart, soul, I think the mind of what you will be doing. You are essentially a great teacher, and this will be important for your students, for their achievement, and also for you in terms of your success financially, business-wise, because as word gets out that you're a great teacher, it will help you with re-enrollment and having new students come to your class. So it's real important. Okay, how do we look at it? Well, when I first started teaching, I was so overwhelmed. There was so much information, I couldn't figure it out. So what I did is I studied the great teachers in my school, and I saw that there were 4 things that they really had in common. And that became the foundation of my teaching philosophy. Those 4 things are: the really wonderful teachers were loving, and I call that love. They understood structure, meaning their classrooms were organized, consistent, you knew what to expect from it. They knew their content, they knew their subject matter, and they were passionate about their subject matter. Finally, stimulation. They were exciting. They were dynamic. They were charismatic. I noticed that when you combine those 4 things, being loving, being structured, knowing your content, and being stimulating, that the students did much, much better, and you had student achievement, which I put in the middle of our little chart here. I called it the 4-leg stool. It seemed like these 4 parts were like 4 legs of a stool that held the teacher up and helped the students. And that's the way that I think you can best look at becoming a great teacher for the Learning Groove. Now, each one of these sections has subcategories. And when you see these categories here, I'll read them to you. Those are each either a specific section in the teaching skills area, or they're a subsection, because some areas kind of fall into different areas. With love, having a loving attitude. This is so important. This is about being caring and understanding and optimistic about your students' potential. Outward signs of being a loving teacher. This is things like smiles, being excited to see them when they come to the class, hugs. Once again, both of these are sections in the teaching skills that will have a specific video and more information. Interest in their development. This in many ways is being a loving teacher, but it's a little more specific. It really has to do with knowing their developmental level, what they're working on, being a resource for parents if they want it. Finally, praise and encouragement. Wow, this is crazy important. And there's a whole section on it, knowing how to give verbal and nonverbal praise and encouragement. This is something that at the Learning Groove we strongly encourage. And we will praise and encourage you to do it. Stimulation. This has to do with all the dynamic skills that good teachers have. Dynamic presentation. There's a whole other section on it. It has to do with tone changes, rhythm patterns, nonverbal cueing. Essential stuff. Interactivity. This is actually my specialty. This is things like call and response, echo, questions and answers. Another section is movement, getting the kids involved. Look, they're going to move anyways, so you can turn it into an educational tool. Appropriate challenge level. This is, you've got your spectrum from boring not challenged to overwhelmed. And you want to be right in the middle, right at that challenging, but not overwhelming. Effective communication. We will train you. All these sections, all these items on this list have their own section in the training skills. We're going to talk and train you on cueing, simple directions, how to use humor as a communication tool. And humor is also a wonderful way to set tone. Finally, have an exciting classroom. A lot of this has to do with being excited yourself, having special events, bringing instruments into the class. Can't wait to do more training on this. Third leg of the stool, structure. Now, I have a longer list here, and they don't all have their own section. That's because this kind of, well, it's in the structure section, but many of them overlap with the other sections as well. Clear instructional goals. Good teachers communicate their instructional goals to the parents very well. Clear classroom expectations. Parents and students should know exactly what you want from them. Never assume they do. Most likely, they don't. This is, if you want them to show up 10 minutes early, you say, I would like you to show up 10 minutes early. You make it clear. Now it's time to sit down in a circle. You'll use cueing. You'll use modeling. This will all be trained further. Clear activity directions. Effective leadership. There's a whole section on effective leadership. A good teacher is in charge of the class, and you know it. You walk into the class, you know who the teacher is. There's no confusion about it. They set the tone. They give excellent directions. Let's see. Choices within limits. This has to do with giving people choices, but at the same time, it's not a free-for-all. There is instruction and there is guidance. Organized transitions. Whole section on transitions. Experienced teachers all know that a good classroom can make or break on transitions. And we will go over all that with you. How to go from song to song or activity to activity in a manner that is smooth, educationally beneficial, and actually increases the tone and effectiveness of your teaching. Consistent components. A structured class has a hello song and a goodbye song. You have your syllabus laid out for folks to see. People know what to expect, and there are events that happen in every class that are consistent. This creates structure. Be ready when the families arrive. This is having to do with this kind of stimulating but controlled feeling. It helps children feel safer when families walk in and the teacher is, trying to get ready and all this. Creates a feeling of chaos. You want everything laid out. You want your counters to be organized. You want your room to be set. And you greet them when they come in. Great teachers are structured. Let's see. Here we go, know your content. Now we have a whole section on content, and this is huge. I mean, this is a big part of being a great teacher. You'll understand early music education. You'll know the songs on your CD. You'll know the activities. Understand music theory. You'll know your instruments. That's really your voice, and you can bring in an instrument as well. Know child development. Understand where your children are at. What developmental level are they, and what are they trying to achieve? Understand preschool readiness. This is very important. A lot of our clients, a lot of your clients, are very interested in preschool readiness. This is important to them and therefore should be very important to you. So you must know, what does that mean? Well, preschool readiness has a lot to do with learning how to follow directions, learning how to work with others, learning how to explore, learning how to learn in a community environment. We'll go over that further as well. Finally, know your props. We have sticks, we have eggs, each one with very specific educational objectives that you can achieve with them. Okay, good teachers, great teachers, know their content. So we return back. As a great teacher, you will be loving, you will be structured, you will know your content, and you will be a stimulating, dynamic teacher. And all that will lead to student achievement.